It's actually started to snow here already.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, what do you mean already? It's almost December.
That's true. Okay. Somehow it's only started snowing. Should have snowed earlier.
Yeah. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I gotta work.
Nice.
Just saying here.
Got to keep that power churning, baby.
Someone's got to do it.
It's true. Do you get like extra time off somewhere else because of it?
No, that's not how it works. It's just I just work a rotating schedule. So
Hmm,
if it happens to fall on a holiday, it happens to fall on a holiday.
gotcha.
Like there's no trade-off. My parents were asking about that too. I was like, no, that's not how it works. Fixed cycle.
Hmm.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And that someone else is me.
Yeah, back again. Probably
Back again.
been like a month and a half, right, since you were last on.
No concept of time at this moment, so
Uh,
who's to say?
let's see. Uh, Beginning of October, so about a month and a half. Um, I was gonna have you on a couple weeks ago, but you had plans. Do you want to talk about those plans?
Wait, when was that?
Let me get
Oh, was that? But that's when I
the
was in Florida,
no.
right?
Yes?
You sure? Yeah. I was. I I drove down to Tallahassee, saw a friend, scooted over to Jacksonville, went to the Bills Jags game, and then drove up after that.
Great game to go to.
Yeah, feels bad.
I mean, I think yeah, we're gonna talk about the Bills today because um, little. I mean, you got to be a little concerned.
Yeah. Um, I mean, the thing is, from yesterday, what happened is nothing new. The past 2 or 3 years, if either one of Edmonds or Milano is out, our run defense is pretty vulnerable.
Aren't they
And
both playing?
Edmonds
Are
was
they
out.
not?
Edmonds was out.
Evans was out. No.
And Star was out to kind of like clog the middle. So that was pretty evident. Um, and also Carson Wentz didn't do any doy plays. So the Colts are pretty good when he doesn't do that, to be fair. But yeah, it sucks. I wish we were winning the division over the Pats at this moment in time. But the writing's been on the wall for a while anyway for it to kind of come down to the 2 December games. So gotta play well in those.
Yeah, I mean, we could have expected that the Bills would decline a little bit this year, just in terms of natural regression. But um, kind of seems like they just keep beating up on bad teams. Jacksonville side keep on beating up on bad teams, which is good. But uh, they can't get past these good teams, or even like the Colts are like an average team. But it kind of makes you wonder, like, if this is all they have, right? If like there's no adjustments later on to be made, like you said, when they have to play the Bucks and the Patriots in December.
Yeah, I mean, Pats, Bucks, Panthers, Pats in 4 consecutive
Yeah,
weeks will be pretty telling. Because, I don't know, you're kind of right. Beating up on bad teams, especially weeks like
that's
two
good
and
though. Yeah,
four, and then beat the Chiefs, and then barely lost to the Titans. I was also at that game. I should stop going to Bills games.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then, losing to the Jags sucks, and Colts are a good team. But I mean, I don't know if you're looking for like where's the Bills like big win if you're kind of discounting the Chiefs right now, or even if you think the Chiefs are back, they were definitely in their broken phase at the time we played them. It's just like who were we supposed to beat to get that like big win? Even if we're sitting here and we had beaten the Colts, be like, well, the Colts are only okay. It's like, well, it kind of sucks that if we beat like a pretty solid team like that, it's kind of like, oh, whatever, we expected that. But if we lose to them, it's like, oh, are there problems? Just kind of seems like the expectations are always gonna like outweigh the results. Like it's kind of hard to live up to it with our schedule so far. So we'll see how
Yeah, I mean,
December goes.
I do still expect them to win the division. I think
It's gonna come down to those two games. I think
they should be able.
I think the scheduling is gonna help us though a little because Trevor Simeon did not look good yesterday, and then we play them Thanksgiving night, and then we kind of get like a half bye week, Thursday to Monday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's nice because if we pick things back up, get that win against the Saints, hopefully our defense shows up and like picks Simeon off a couple times, then we'll just have uh 12 days, 12, 13 days, something like that, till the next game, which is pretty much a bye. So to play the Pats, so that'll just be nice to have extra time.
That
I can
feels like
see
a
how it
game.
works out for us. That's all I'm saying. I can also see how it not works out, but
I feel like
the path
Belichick
is there.
makes Allen flustered in that game, though.
I mean, we'll see. What about last year?
Yeah, I know, but last year was clearly different. Allen isn't. I had to look it up, but
He
I
he
guess
is though.
he's not succeeding as much on deep throws, right?
I don't know. If you just look at the
Yes.
big picture numbers, he has like more passing yards, better percentage. The like TD int ratio is the same. He's running a little less, which um like on one hand is good, but also since that is such a significant percentage of our overall run game, kind of tough to not have that element be as pronounced as last year. But I don't know. I'm
On
not.
his on target rates back down like to 2019 levels. Not making as many bad throws, but
Yeah,
he's just not as accurate. Like I said earlier, he's not as accurate on those deep throws, which he did so well last year and was a large part of his game.
I don't think he really even did do them that well last year. There were a lot of missed
But
opportunities still, but it was just okay because we came up with it on volume. I think something that we did well against the Colts and have been struggling this year with, and will be good if we can keep it up, is like early down efficiency, like getting a first down on first and second and not even getting to third, or just improving our like third and whatever numbers. Because I mean, against the Jags, all game it just seemed like it was like third and 10 plus all the time, and good enough team with the receivers are good at converting those, and so it kind of bailed us out quite a bit. But it's just not sustainable to be in like third and long all the time. A lot better, obviously, to get the first before you even get to third down. But then if we do get to third down, just making it third and three or less is so important. So I wish we, because it's tough to use our run game to get in those spots because our run game isn't great. I'll be honest. So I think Dable just needs to fire up some stuff that's gonna put us in those kind of better situations.
and what's I guess concerning is like they face like here the second easiest schedule of opposing defenses in the league so far. Which again makes sense to given what we talked about. They beat up on a lot of bad teams, but it's only going to get harder, I guess. I
Yeah.
think they face the easiest schedule of offenses too. Looks like.
So
Yeah,
that sounds like you should be winning when all that, right? But I think it's nice to be kind of like tested every once and again to just like, how do I put it? The way you play to like dunk on bad teams is different than the way you play to like nudge past good teams, right?
okay.
Yeah, so I think it'll just be nice to have more opportunities to actually play like that. Like, I don't know. We ended up losing the Titans game, but it's not like it wasn't close. And so
Um,
I think just more practice playing in games like that will be helpful.
get early down stats, but it's taking forever to load. Yeah, again, like you said, we'll see when as the schedule gets tougher in the next month or so. I still expect them to win the division. They might even still get the first seed. I think they're still
Yeah,
favorites for the Super Bowl out of the conference, aren't they? Maybe not anymore. They were
I don't know
last week.
about that anymore.
They were coming into this past week. I think they're still favorites for.
I can't imagine still after this week, but I don't know. I'm just saying, like, the window's still there. If the Bills go on a tear in December, then not only is it like, oh my gosh, the Bills are back, but also just like getting hot at the right time. Gonna be able to close out the year against the Falcons and the Jets.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice little get right, I guess.
Final stretch,
So,
yeah.
if it ever loads. It looked like they were the favorites to win the Super Bowl going into this past week.
Hmm.
Their odds, like their market implied odds, right, were 14% for the Super Bowl, 28% for the AFC, which was highest. The next highest is the Chiefs at 8 and 16 respectively. So, maybe that gets flipped a little, but they still have good chances. See, any other team you want to talk about?
Um,
Past
Vikings win
week,
was kind of big.
Vikings. That was another. We'll talk about the Sunday night game too, I think, but Vikings game was pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little surprised given, the Vikings that they decided to just kneel down at the end of the game. Like, man, you can rely on your kicker. Probably the right thing to do. Get the clock down, but
What yard line
basically,
were
yeah.
they at?
So they drove down the field. They ended up around the 5 yard line.
Oh,
I think Dalvin Cook ran it. Yeah, it was a Dalvin Cook run from like the 15 yard line, ran down to the 5 yard line. Basically gave himself up, right? Got
yeah.
down at the 5. Which again, so it's first and goal. And then they did 3 nail downs, got the clock down to 2 seconds, and then kicked the field goal. But
That's fine. Your
it's the
kicker better.
Vikings. The Vikings
No,
with kickers.
these guys
No,
are.
I still think, yeah, no, I'm saying that's the right thing to do, but there's just a part of you like with the Vikings in the back of your mind, you're like, maybe Greg Joseph, chip shot
Yeah,
to
but it's like I feel like you actually want to use situations like that to, I don't know how to put it, like stat pad, if you will. Like, oh yeah, see, like he makes game-winning kicks, even though it was like a fucking like 19-yarder or something.
his stat pad with Dalvin Cook touchdown.
No, but I mean like you want the stat pad for your kicker to like build confidence. Like, see, like you can't point back to all these like numbers about missing all these kicks at the end of the game, or at least they get deflated by him like getting kind of a freebie.
I mean, if you feel the need to stat pad your kicker, he probably shouldn't be your kicker.
I'm not saying you need to, but obviously, like, okay, you fucking brought it up, right? So obviously there's some stigma around it. Like, dude, if it's any other team, you're not questioning, like, oh, I'm kind of surprised they chose to kneel down 3 times. It's like, yeah, that's obviously what you do. So,
I'd probably question it for the Chargers for the same reason, just kicking woes.
yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, if you're going to question it, like, that is almost more reason to do it because it should be a freebie anyway. And then when he makes it, it's like, oh, great. I just made a game winning kick. Like, see, we can do it. Try to buck the narrative.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just messing around, but okay.
Titans losing to the Texans. See, anything can
Texans are
happen.
Texans. Rod Taylor was back,
Hasn't he been back?
but no, he didn't play last week. Did
Oh,
he?
I thought he did.
I don't think so. Did he play against the Dolphins? Oh, he did play.
Hmm.
It shows how much I pay attention to the Texans.
240
Uh,
yards, 0 TDs, 3 picks. A good old Tyrod game.
Blaney. Which way? Oh, you're talking about the Titan. Yeah.
Yeah, but see,
Yeah,
like, okay,
I didn't.
look at that. Titans best record in the AFC. Like their loss to the Texans was like our loss to the Jags, right?
Yeah, but the Titans are a little more concerning on offense now, which is, it's kind of like a natural do running backs matter experiment, right? With Henry being out now.
But when it's Derrick Henry, like that answer is obviously yes.
Yeah, and to be fair, like the drop off between Derrick Henry and like 48-year-old Adrian Peterson is bigger than like if they had, like if you're like in a Browns situation where you got Kareem Hunt and even Dearness Johnson looks.
Oh, I had to drop Dearness Johnson yesterday. Broke my
But
heart.
the offensive line is a mess too. Like Derrick Henry was a big the big name value, but that offensive line is bottom five in the league, and I
Is
don't
Taylor Lewan out for the year?
know what happens. Go to the one, not technically out for the year as of this recording. But the line wasn't good even with Taylor Lewan in it. That's what I'm getting at. So
Yeah, guess so.
um, Julio was out, I think, for that game, or he's been out of the lineup. There's not a lot of talent on offense, and it's honestly kind of a testament to how Ryan Tannehill's kept the team in games. Like even the Texans game, and I guess they scored late, but they were down.
Julio out for the year?
I don't think they have. Huh? I don't think so. Julio Jones.
Oh, possible return week 14.
Yeah, yeah. Hard to say. He's on the IR though,
Yeah.
and they don't have much else. I think they got rid of Josh Reynolds, which
Yeah, AJ Brown. It's kind of good though.
I mean outside of AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Like we knew coming into the year they were top heavy, and that they needed their stars to play like stars. And Tannehill's been pretty good this year, and AJ, yeah, like, great. But losing Derrick Henry and Julio Jones to with an already bad offensive line and Taylor Lewan. Actually, did you see? I'm assuming you did, but for the Titans Bills game, when I don't remember the guy's name, but on a certain sports
Oh, Chris
show,
Broussard? Yeah.
yeah, is that him?
That was so stupid.
Talking about
How do these guys
Taylor,
get paid?
I was like, I watched it the first time, and I couldn't even tell what he was talking about. I was like, is he trying to refer to Luan or Dawkins? I was like, no, wait, Dawkins didn't get hurt.
And also, well, in that clip, he was like, "Who is this Deion Dawkins guy?" And it's like, dude,
At the end,
he's
who's
kind
this
of
Deion
good.
Dawkins?
Like, he might be like a top 10 left tackle. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, maybe at the end of the top 10. He's pretty good. He's above average.
Okay,
And
top half. At
yeah,
least.
yeah, above average, top 15. But also, like, he's been in the league, what, 5 years?
Who?
4 years? Deion Dawkins.
I thought he was the same draft class as Josh, or the one before.
27.
So yeah, 5. You're right.
Drafted in 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is his 4th year. No, 5th year. This is his 5th year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really tough. Yeah, this is 5th year. So, like, what I'm getting at is, like, he's not a new guy. It's not like a rookie.
No
Been in
one
the
pays
league
attention
for
to the
5 years.
linemen, and no one pays attention to the Bills, so
Yeah, but he's a tackle, too. Not a guard.
don't matter.
Not everyone's offensive line people. I don't know. I thought, yeah, I was like, man, such confidence, too, for everyone at home.
They
for our
just
listeners.
get
That was that was an aggressive sneeze.
I sneeze loud. I feel like you must know that after working together for so long.
We haven't worked together for like 2 years now, probably, right?
Yeah.
3 years, two,
Yeah, coming up on,
our
well,
2 year
yeah, two.
anniversary of not working together.
Yeah, it was a few months ago.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. Doesn't
Joe
matter.
won. Bills. Wins. Okay. Uh, okay, yeah. Let's talk about the Sunday night game.
That
The
was awesome.
Chargers and Steelers. Couldn't watch all of it. I was at work. I tried to pull out my phone when I could, pull up the NFL app and have it wait. Something I noticed? I was watching, sorry, sidetrack. I was watching on my TV, using the
Hmm.
NFL app to watch whatever game it was. Like every game on CBS it was. It might have been the Bills game. Were the Bills playing this week? Colts, yeah, Bills Colts. I think it was Bills Colts. No, it wasn't that. It was the Fox game. What was on Fox? Whatever game it was on Fox
Hmm.
on the NFL app. And then I had to go to my bedroom for something. So I was like, okay. So took my computer out and went to foxsports.com, whatever it is, to watch online. So pulled that up, watched it, and I went back to my living room when I was done with whatever. I don't remember what I was doing, laundry or something. Came back to my living room, put the TV on, and I noticed like, man, there's like a 5 minute delay
Yeah.
on the NFL app compared to Fox Sports dot, whatever. I was like, man, I gotta watch the past 5 plays again.
Yeah, when I'm running two TVs and I have like Red Zone on and it cuts to the game that I have on the other TV, it's always like two plays before. Dang, I just watched this. And then I get confused because I don't know, like, I know which TV's ahead, but it's just weird to like see it again and be like, wait, what's going on? Because like two plays will have happened since that play happened, and then they show that play like it's happening for the first time on the other TV.
Something I've noticed, and I'll add the NFL here, because their app's been buggy. Any CBS game doesn't. I don't know what the technological terminology is here, but like
Mm.
I'll switch between the CBS and the Fox game. So I'll go from the CBS game. Let's say it's fourth quarter, 11
Mm.
minutes to go. Go to the Fox game, watch that for like 10 minutes, then go back, and it's still the fourth quarter, 11 minutes to go on the CBS game. Like it didn't update. Like it just takes me back to when I left, almost like I paused it.
Oh, that's nice of them. Don't want to miss anything.
No, I mean, I don't think it's supposed to do that. It's supposed to be a live thing. It's supposed to be a live recording. So that's not the intentional thing. So
I see that as a feature.
then, well, and then eventually it corrects itself. It'll correct itself like 15 minutes later. It'll just jump ahead, or like
Okay, that's bad.
it'll skip an ad break or something, or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds like a win. Skipping ad breaks.
I it's
That
it's so
sounds
bugger. Like,
great.
well, it makes it it's the worst thing ever. It makes it so I can't flip back. It's harder for me to flip back and forth. I'm just like, well, I got to stay on the CBS game because
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it or it's gonna freeze or lose. I don't know. Okay, anyway, back to the Sunday night game. So it was fun watching Ben Roethlisberger try to throw deep on the last drive of the game.
Yeah, I don't even remember it that well. I just know like Herbert fumbled and then the when it was tied, something like
No, he
that.
threw a pick. He threw a pick.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
He threw like off the head of Cam Hayward. It ricocheted like 50
Right,
feet
right,
in the
right.
air, and then Cam Sutton fell underneath it. And that game was tied like 4 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go. Uh, and yeah, Steelers score.
When they
But
only got a field goal, I was like, it's over. Like Chargers won.
well, then the Chargers score and then they leave, whatever, like under a minute left. Roethlisberger starts at his own 25 or whatever, gets sacked the first play. Or does he get sacked first play? They have like some penalty. Basically, in the 4 downs, or I guess in the first 3 downs, first, second, and third down, there's 2 sacks. So he
Yeah.
ends up in like 4th and 29 from like the 5 yard line with 23 seconds left. Like, man, that's a way to do that. Anyway, Chargers win. Um, could still win the division.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised to see that the Chiefs were first going into this week.
For what it's worth, going into this past week, they basically, FBI had them at like even odds to win the division. Um,
I
even after,
I didn't do it because I'm not gambling this year, but when the Chiefs were like on that slide and they were like 2 games under 500 or something, I was like,
oh yeah,
I should bet the Chiefs still win the division now. And
they
then
were
I
like
didn't
two
do
and
it.
four or something. They were like third, I think, in betting odds at one point, right? Behind the Raiders.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, the Raiders have other issues, on the field, but yeah, I think the Chiefs might win the conference now at this
Yeah, I think they should. Who do they play?
point. That's if the Titans have such an easy schedule down the road, though. So
Chiefs kind of play some dogs last few weeks. Coes, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals.
do you call them coes?
Yeah, Coes, baby.
Coes? Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Chiefs will naturally have a tough schedule, but yeah, Titans. I mean, their final 6 games, the only team that I see them maybe losing to is the Patriots. They have Jaguars, Steelers, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans.
Yeah, I don't know. They just lost to the Texans, so
No way happens again.
yeah. I mean, okay. Well, I think Pats is definitely the biggest question mark. 49ers show up sometimes. Steelers show
Yeah,
up
the
sometimes.
49ers when
That could happen, right?
49ers when Garoppolo is just unreal on 3rd down. Basically, is how they've been winning the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've been averaging like 3.5, 4 yards a carry, right?
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan's run game is obviously very sophisticated, and he does a pretty good job of getting guys in space. But the reason they've been winning the past couple weeks is just Garoppolo's been nuts, which you wouldn't think.
The Niners-Titans game is also on Thursday Night Football. Add a little extra wild card factor in there. Who knows?
Is that a wild card? What's a wild card about it?
I mean, I feel like Thursday games are weird. Short week, less prep time. Everyone's kind of like bored and gassed, right?
Yeah, yeah. Is what team does Russell Wilson play on next year?
That's a good question. Let's see.
And if it's the Seahawks, who's the head coach?
That I have no idea about. Let's just throw out like any possible contenders and then whittle it down. Dolphins, Broncos,
Texans?
Titans, Texans.
Titans now. I don't think the Titans can move on from Tannehill, and I don't think they will.
You on a big contract or something?
Yeah, he just got signed an extension last year.
I mean,
I'll pull up his over the cap, but
okay. Texans, as you said, so it's 3 in the AFC.
Steelers.
Ooh, good points.
All right, so if the Titans cut Ryan Tannehill next year, they would have $57,400,000 in dead money.
Yeah, but for Mr. Unlimited? I mean, I don't know. They might fucking trade him or some shit.
$57 million? That
was facetious. But yeah.
The largest debt
Okay.
cap hit is not even close. Like the Wentz cap hit is the highest right now, and I think it's like 23 million. Anyway,
Football
yeah. So
team?
football team, yeah.
Uh, Lions?
Yeah. Yeah. Giants?
No, I think they're gonna stick with Danny Dimes.
Well, they may have a new GM at that point. I don't see how David Gettleman can keep his job after the season if the Giants go like 5 and
I mean, I don't know. Just have it in with Mr. Mara. No problem.
yeah,
And
maybe
then
he's got
Panther.
Saints.
Nah, I think Jameis.
Roll with Travis Etienne. Oh,
Jameis will be back. He kind of played
yeah, but wouldn't they rather
well.
have Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Th- Didn't James play well?
Yeah, but he's on a
There's a
1 year
lot of
contract.
guys that you would rather have Russell Wilson than, but you're not going to move on from him for reasons.
They
Like
would eat.
Tannehill, right? Russell Wilson's better than Tannehill. Gonna go ahead and say it, but that can't happen for
Sure, but Tannehill's still pretty good, and Jameis was good this year. But
yeah.
yeah, like I said, contract matters here. But Jameis is on a 1 year deal.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I mean, 1 year left. He he wasn't on a 1 year deal.
wasn't he?
No, he backed up Drew Brees last year.
Yeah, he re-signed on a 1 year deal, didn't he?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't think they would sign him to be there for 1 year behind Brees.
Uh, yeah, they signed him last year on a 1 year deal. Oh no, he's on the team next year. Never mind. No, it's a void year. No, it's a void year. Never mind. Yeah, James is on a 1 year deal.
They're not gonna Saints aren't gonna sign Russell Wilson.
I'm just saying they could. They trade for him, right? And I guess that's
Of
it,
all
right?
those, I would
What about
probably
hold on. What
say
about I got one more.
okay.
What about the Rams?
No,
They got more first round picks because next year you get to trade another you get another year
there's
of
no
first
way
round
that happens.
picks. Maybe funny. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
If Ben leaves, I can see that. I feel like Texans are too messy of a situation. I feel like he'll want to go to like what's the best team of all the teams we listed? Probably the Steelers, yeah?
Mm, maybe Broncos.
Yeah, maybe Broncos. That's the other thing I was thinking.
I mean, the Dolphins. I would have said coming into the year, obviously,
Nah.
but they look a little messy. Uh,
And I think they're gonna give Tua more time. I don't think it makes
I
sense
mean,
not to.
Saints would be the best team. Saints would be awesome. What about if Brady retires? Brady wins the Super Bowl this year and
Not
he
retiring.
retires. Now he's got 10 more years.
I don't know about that, but this isn't gonna be his last year.
Who retires first, Tom Brady or Carson Wentz?
Tom Brady.
I don't know. All right. I wouldn't put money on that, is all I'm saying. Okay. So you're saying Steelers?
28.
Huh?
Wentz is 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years.
No, Tom Brady's not playing 10 years.
Why not?
Much.
10 years ago, we would have said Tom Brady's not playing 10 more years.
That's not a good argument, though, and you know it.
I think there's no rules with regard to Tom Brady and age. He's 44 years old.
I think he
Like
play
I,
5 seasons
I,
after this.
I feel like the curve like flattens out. Like at this point, what's the difference between 49 and 52?
3 years.
When you're old, you're old.
He might play 50 at 50 just to like do it, but I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he.
He's got to do the 50. But that's 6 years.
He might finish that season and then, but like, dude, that's just because like at a certain point, no one's knocking you for the time thing, and then also like, dude, being 50 years old out there, can you imagine just getting yammed on by like Aaron Donald or something?
Aaron Donald won't be around by then. 6 years from now, Donald will be 36. Maybe he's still around.
Yeah, and Brady will be 50. Like,
Yeah, but Donald's not Brady.
all I'm saying is there's going to be scary dudes on defensive lines out there, and it's like, well, I have 7+ Super Bowls, and I've played for forever, and there'll be absolutely no question with that. He'll be like Jerry Rice for quarterbacks, where it's just like, holy shit, you played for forever and put up incredible numbers for so long, and like, yeah. If you
Or if
want to
it's
talk
like,
about peaks purely, then it's like okay, but when you just look at like overall career, they're gonna have a bunch of numbers where it's like, oh, like Brady's last 10 years of his career are like the third best of any quarterback throughout their entire career, or some stupid shit like that, and it just doesn't make sense to have all that and then risk not being able to like walk again because he got destroyed by some massive dude when you were 50 years old.
to be fair, like he's only missed because of one injury. He's only missed games because of one injury in
Brady.
his 48-year career, huh? Yeah, Brady's only missed like he missed the whole season that year, but like that's the only time he's missed time. So I'm getting at it's like he's only missed for the one time because of one injury,
Yeah, but I mean, I don't
and
know.
that was 14 years ago too, when he was young Brady.
I still think
14.
what I'm saying is valid.
No, I'm just trolling, but I just think it's funny. Maybe he's got like a family issue at home. You know, it's like he doesn't want to. Because I'll tell you, I have someone that I work with. He's 67. Okay,
Yeah.
he does my job. My job, you shouldn't be doing at 67. There's a lot of like manual labor. Like you literally do fire brigade stuff. Like, you can't do that. But he keeps this job. He's still working at this job because like I guess he doesn't want to go home to his wife. Like he has to do, his wife makes him do work. The wife makes him do more work at home than you would if he just goes to his job. So maybe Giselle just makes Brady like vacuum all day
I'm
at
not going to
home.
comment on that.
Why? Because you don't want to
That's just
you
a
don't want to give.
whole can of worms that I don't need to address.
Okay, I was just
Yeah, I don't know. He'll have more
uh,
time to kiss the sun on his lips, so he'll probably
you're
appreciate
gonna go through that can of worms. You open that one up.
that. Well, I feel like that's a Brady exclusive, so
I will say so. I watched the Georgia Tech game against Notre Dame this past weekend. Brutal, by the
ooh,
way. Brutal.
yeah. I mean, it
My
was close for a while.
I have an aside to my side. So, side note on that. My shift manager came in and he was like, "Man, I've been betting on Notre Dame all year, and I made like $1,000 on them yesterday, betting the over." It's like, man, they rubbed it into my face. Anyway, Notre Dame won. But in the booth, the reason I'm getting this, in the boys, Mike Tirico and Drew Brees, who are
Yep.
basically like the Sunday Night Football successors, the
Hmm.
Michaels and Collinsworth, right? I don't know when it's supposed to be soon, right? Like the next couple of years.
I do not know.
Anyway, they're pretty good. I mean, it's hard to tell because like Tirico I don't think it's him. I think it's like because of the network. Basically, background like right, like Notre Dame is an independent in the FBS in college football. Basically because they get to set their own schedule and perhaps more importantly, they get to have their own TV deals, right? So Notre Dame has a deal with NBC. I think they broadcast all their games, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, so Tirico calls all their games, and so you're basically when you're watching NBC, a national broadcast for a Notre Dame game, you're really watching like the home team's announcers, right? So there's a
Yeah, yeah.
little. It's again, I think Tirico does a pretty good job, and like I don't think it's him. That's like, but like just sometimes he's just like a little home heavy. And I've watched when he substitutes for Colin or for Al Michaels on Sunday Night Football. He does a good job, but that was the only thing. And Drew Brees did a pretty good job, I think.
Well, okay, on that note, something that's gonna suck is they're calling the Bills Saints game.
Oh, are they?
So that is gonna be fucking annoying.
I don't know. I mean, Romo and Aikman like aren't super Cowboys heavy.
Yeah, but it not being super is honestly gonna make it worse because I can't even like point to it. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be
I
like
don't.
kind of little things here and there where it's like, oh my God, you're being a homer, but just not being like flagrant about it.
What are you gonna? Yeah, I don't think I think Breeze. Maybe what? I don't know. Have you watched any of the Manning casts recently?
Not really.
Okay, so the
I tried
one
for a bit and it just wasn't like, yeah, it
I
wasn't
was gonna say
enticing.
it got good. So when they had Phil Mickelson on,
Yeah,
I mean, this guy it was all over the internet, but like he was great as a guest. Like that
yeah,
segment when he was in there for I think like the second quarter of last week's Monday Night Football game. Like he brought questions. He was going like, "Hey Peyton, so I know this team likes to run a lot of inside zone." Or maybe he didn't say that, but like he said stuff like that. I was like,
yeah.
"Jeez." It's like how can they build more outside zone run concepts to get their running backs on the edge more? It's like, gosh, Phil Mickelson. He's like, I know this team is a fourth in DVOA, but I'm giving him more credit. But he said stuff like that. I was like, man, this he brought questions. He didn't even let normally because normally the with the Manning cast they'll bring in their guests and they're interviewing them often not about football. They're basically just watching like Peyton and Eli talk to whoever,
hmm
Ed Sheeran or whoever they brought in, like about music and stuff. And I'm like, why am I don't know. It's better. It's always better, I think, when they talk about the game and you get their insight because I feel like that should be the point of the Manning cast, right?
Yeah.
Because you're getting a great quarterback and Eli Manning's also there. Um, so, but when they brought in Phil Mickelson, like he was asking about the game, he was like, "Oh, I think he even predicted a play too." He was like, "Oh, I know they like to do a lot of runs when they get in the red zone here." He's like, "Oh, they're probably going to run the ball. Next play, they run the ball." It was just like a duo concept. Yeah, put this guy on the broadcast. It's going to
I
Fox.
mean, Phil's kind of an electric guy, just in general. So that's cool.
Yes, but you could tell like he watches a lot of football and he likes the game, and I think that's the type of guest that they should have. It's like when
Yeah.
they come in and he asks Peyton, "Hey, how do you?" He asked Peyton like, "How do you read defenses? Like top down? Like do you start with the defensive backs and then go to the line or vice versa, or whatever? It's like what are you looking for when you get to the line of scrimmage? Like stuff like that."
I feel like that is like appealing to us a little too much though. You know?
It does. I no. I understand the audience uh, for that sort of stuff is different, but you wouldn't be watching the Manning cast if you weren't looking for that. I guess what I'm getting at. Like you would just watch the main broadcast. I would think.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
if you're
That, that
if you're not
that's
looking for that, then what's the difference between that and the main broadcast? Right?
I don't know. I think it's a little experiment that they're doing. I don't really know what people like to watch. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Cause like, okay, the NBA team or whatever started doing all the like stupid shit where like Charles Barkley like is trying different kinds of like late fall, early winter like pies. And it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? But apparently that's like a huge hit for like more casual NBA fans. And,
Yeah.
I think they kind of recognize, well, we already have like the people who like football are going to watch no matter what. So let's just do weird stuff to try to get people in. And they might be trying to make the Manning cast be a little more like that so that it's not just like a traditional, maybe is the angle they're going. I don't know if it
Sure.
appeals
But
to.
do you think people want to see Peyton and Eli have Tom Cruise on to talk about Top Gun while the Monday Night Football game's going on?
Yeah, I think people who don't care so much about football do. I think it's like, well,
If you don't care about football, my point is, then why are you watching the game?
because it's a middle grounds for like, oh, like Monday Night Football party, and you got like half the crowd is cares about football, half the crowd doesn't so much, but we're trying to get everybody together. So, you have the game on, so the people who care about the game can still watch it, but then you have some like dumb shit with like former NFL players being personalities with celebrities. And
Marshawn
someone's like,
Lynch
"Oh,
can't
I know
decide.
Tom Cruise," and like, yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
don't think I don't think Tom Cruise or Ed Sheeran have been on the Mancast, but it seems like they would. Actually, you know what? Get them on the. Yeah, you think it's like the same household too, where like
Yeah, I think it just makes it
someone.
more inviting for like everyone to watch. Because I don't know, I
I thought
also don't
that
know how
was
they measure stuff anymore. Because Nielsen ratings don't fucking matter. You know?
they have streaming numbers and they have yeah, they have streaming numbers.
Yeah, yeah, but like when there's one stream, how many people are watching?
Yeah, yeah, you're saying
That's hard. I don't know how to figure that out.
they could just do households basically.
Yeah, but then again, like if you're paying for uh like views, if you're trying to estimate like what's my advertising cost per 1,000 views, it matters a lot if 2.5 people are watching per household compared to one.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do it.
I don't know either. Um, but that's all like weird new like stuff that the networks have to think about that I don't really know much about at all.
I had something else to ask you, but I can't remember. Is there anything else you want to talk about
No.
before we wrap up?
Uh, college football's weird. Do you think Cincy should go?
Probably. I think they have a good strength of record right now.
I
And
mean, can you though when you're a group of five?
pull it up.
I mean, I know. No, I'll just tell you, none of their wins are going to be like impressive. Well, sorry, not none of them, but like their schedule as a whole. Because even if you want to point to like Notre Dame and like a few other, like the one other ranked one they have, the fact that you're not playing like solid teams week in, week out like you do in the SEC is in and of itself a knock. And I know you get to say like you don't choose who you play, but also,
You could.
yeah, I mean I mean that's how they set up the Notre Dame game. Like I don't know. Um, I hope they go. I'm not convinced it's going to happen still.
I can't find the strength of record, but it would be nice to see them go.
I think Georgia's going to win the SEC.
Uh, oh, yeah. I didn't understand the question at first. Yeah.
Me too.
I don't see how they don't win the national championship.
Bama.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I like Bama.
Well, we're on the same page,
Like
so
Bama,
don't
but
know. Not much to say there, but
Cincinnati going into last week had the number 5 strength of record according to ESPN. That was
I
over
don't know.
Ohio State. Well, that was over Ohio State. Ohio State will probably move up this week, right?
Yeah.
And but I mean, that was ahead of Oregon, Michigan State, Oklahoma State, Mississippi, Oklahoma, your Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
College football is so fucking weird, man.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Cool. Great. Big football talk. Nothing else. Who needs it?